What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I was like, hey man, why not make some math videos, right? Actually, I just had to get this Algebra 2 Honors Module 3 Topic 3 test review done. I was like, well, I can do it on my Service Pro, and I can record it and explain them. That is a dope idea. So that's what we're going to do here. All right, this first part here is going to be all calculated. It doesn't mean that we're going to use the calculator every single time, but I will have it up there for when we do need it. So let's get it popping, man. Number 1A. And we are checking for typos on this one here because I haven't keyed this thing yet. So let's get it going. We got log of 7 plus log of 2x equals 4. Now, when the log base isn't written, it's implied that it's base 10. So I can go ahead and I can pop a little 10 right down there and right there. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom in even a little bit more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to condense these two logs into a single logarithm. So I can have a log, and we can write base 10 just so we remember. It's going to be helpful here in a sec, of, and it's 7 times 2x. So we're going to have of 14x equals 4. So now I have it in log form, right, still, but there's not a whole lot I can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop it, I'm going to swoop it, and rewrite it in exponential form here. So I'm going to have 10 raised to the 4th equals 14x. All right, and here's where I'm just going to pop up the calculator, and we're going to start going with that one. We could probably do 10 to the 4th on our own, but you know what? We're going to need this anyway, so we're going to do 10 raised to the 4th power. We're going to hit enter. And then let's see, we got, 10,000. We're going to divide that by 14. So divided by 14 on both sides, hit enter. I get 714.285. So 714.2, it was 85, so 29 would be our approximate for x. Boom, diggity, that is awesome. Let us keep it moving. All right, over to B here. So we have log base 8 of x equals -3. Well, I can't solve it in its current form, so I'm going to go ahead and loop it and swoop it to solve for that argument of the log. So I'm going to have 8 raised to the -3rd power equals x. So what is 8 to the -3rd? Well, it could be like 8 to the 3rd, but 1 over that, right? Because negatives give us reciprocals. But since it's calculator portion, I'll do 8 to the 3rd here. Okay, hit enter, whoop. And I get 512, so that's going to be x equals 1 over 512. That would be the best way of writing that. We could even get a decimal for that one. Let's see here. So 1 divided by 512. 512. It's a little tricky to type these things in. I don't have my calculator hooked up right now, but that's pretty messy, man. That's pretty messy. I'm going to write as x equals 1 over 512. If it was multiple choice, it would be that right there. But in the event that you're like, oh my gosh, I have this crazy decimal after doing 8 to the -3rd, you can hit math and choose frac. So hit enter, and it will put it into the, enter one more time, 1 over 512. Boom. That's awesome. Let's move on to part C here. Okay. I'm going to go with red on this one. I'm feeling like red. This looks terrifying, doesn't it? It looks quite terrifying. So I'm going to have to loop and swoop it because I can't solve it in its current form, in its log form. So now I have x raised to the 5/4 equals the 4th root of 32. Now, here's the thing is, 4th roots, I would much rather, Jenny's saying hi to the neighbors. I would much rather raise it to the 1/4 power. So we got x to the 5/4 equals 32 to the 1 over 4. Now, you might start seeing what we can do here. I can raise both sides here. Both sides, I have to get this exponent. I can raise them both to the 4 over 5. So the reciprocal of that exponent that's on the x, right? So because I have 5 over 4 here, if I raise it to the 4/5, I multiply these two exponents together. That gives me x to the 1st power. So I get x to the 1st, which is just x. And whatever I do to one side, I got to do that to the other. So 4/5 right here. And now what I have is, where's my red marker? There we go. 32. Now the 4's here are going to cancel out. I'm left with 1/5. So 32 to the 1/5 power. So you can either do that with your calculator or we can do it in our head. The 5th root of 32. Can we do that? What do you guys are wanting to do calculator? I feel it. All right, I'm going to show you how to type it. It is the calculator portion, so why the heck not? So 32, and then we got raised to the 1/5, so I can 1 divided by 5. Hit enter. It's just 2, right? Because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 32, so x is going to equal 2 here. No big deal. Dang, man. First one done. That's a lot of fun stuff. Hopefully the boat noise in the background isn't too crazy here. Alrighty. I'm going to go with orange on this one. I'm feeling orange. So we've got ourselves log of 6 plus log of 5x equals 3. Oh, this is kind of like the first one, right? So I got log base 10 and we got 10 right here, right? We're going to condense it into 1. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it right now, and I'm going to go ahead and just work this problem out since it's the same as the other one, and then see if we get the right answer. And we get x equals 100 over 3. Beautiful. That's awesome. Notice that little fun little trick that I did with those zeros there. I know, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. All right, on to B. So we got log. There's no base there, right? So that means it's base 10. So I'm going to have 10 raised to the negative 7th. So x equals 10 to the negative 7th. If you want to get the decimal equivalent, we can go ahead and plug that into our calculator, but it's going to be a lot of zeros, right? I always get a little nervous on these, so I do actually like to plug them in. I know, it's weird, math teacher, but getting scared of things. Okay, so negative 7. Make sure you hit that negative button and not the subtraction button. Hit enter. How many zeros we got? We got negative 7, right? So we're going to move it 10 places. We got what? X equals, and the decimal place is here. Move it 7 times, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. There we go. Boom, diggity. That's beautiful and wonderful. Wait, missed a 0 there. Whoop, there we go. Perfect. Now we're good. All right, next one, part C. So again, a little scary looking one here. I'm gonna let you guys try. I'm gonna pause it, and I'm just gonna show the whole work right after that. So feel free to pause if you want to try it. All right, I decided to come back in partway through, just in case you're like, did I get this right so far? So we got a partway check. We're going to raise this to the 3 halves on both sides. So 3 halves, and now that's going to give me just 1, so x to the first. And over here, those 3's are going to cancel again, and I got 4 to the 1/2. Well, what's 4 to the 1/2? That's the square root of 4, so x equals 2. Dang, man, we are cruising, having a great time. This is fantastic. All right, I will make this into a PDF for you dogs after I do finish it, so you'll have a hard copy or an electronic copy, I guess, and this super dope video. Whew, man, we are having a great time here. All right, so this one here, we're currently in exponential form. I got to solve for an exponent. It is the calculator portion, so I could just use logs here, right? I could write 343 as 7 to a power, potentially. I can. But we can also just loop and swoop this thing because it is the calculator portion, right? If it's non-calc, then you're going to want to rewrite it. So I'm going to have log base 7 of 343 equals 2x minus 3. So I'm going to pop up that calculator, and I'm going to do a little math alpha math. So math alpha, then math again. That brings up so I can do any log base. I got 7, then I got 343. Right? Hit enter, and I get 3, right? So I did say 7 to the 3rd, right? So now I can just go ahead and add 3, right? So I can add 3 here, plus 3, hit enter, and then divide by 2. Do we really need to do that in the calculator? I don't know. Maybe it makes you feel a little warm and fuzzy, right? We get 3 for the answer. So let's write some work down. We get 3 equals 2x minus 3. Add 3 gets us 6 equals 2x. Divide by 2. X equals 3. If it got kind of nasty with decimals, then the calculator would be super helpful, but that one was not too bad at all. All right. This is good. This is fun. All righty. Part B here. Part B. So we've got, so 10 times, all right, that's multiplication there, and then we got 2/5 raised to the 5x minus 1 equals 50. Oh my goodness. This seems absolutely terrifying. I'm going to go with the little blue, I think, on this one here. Divide by 10 on both sides first, all right? I got to isolate that base to an exponent so that I can then rewrite in log form, hopefully, right? So I got 2/5 to the 5x minus 1 equals 5, and then I am going to have to loop it and swoop it. So we got ourselves log base 2/5, not 5 halves, hold up, log, then 2/5 of 5 equals that 5x minus 1. All right, so we're going to end up just adding 1. So add 1, and then we'll divide by 5 afterwards. But let's do this part in the calculator here. I feel like it saves the most time. All right, so again, we're going to hit math, alpha, math, and I've got 2/5, so 2 divided by 5. Or 0.4 is cool as well if you want. If you're like cool like that, you like to throw things in there. All right, of 5, and then we're going to hit enter. And I'm going to add 1, right? We're adding 1, add 1, hit enter, and then I'm going to divide by 2. Sorry, by 5. Almost. All right, so if I divide by 5 there, we end up with negative 0.151. All right, so x equals negative 0.151. So we'll just do negative 0.15. Excellent. Now you might be like, bro, can we have a negative? It is for an exponent, so that is okay. You can also always check it. I will show you guys how to check it here. We can just type in the original 10 times, and then we have 2/5. So, not 2 parentheses, just 1. 2 divided by 5 close them, raised to the, and then it's 5, and then I'm going to use the unrounder, the lot of decimals that we have here in the calculator, you know, yo-ro, you only round once, right? And then we have that, and it's -1. Boom, -1. We should end up getting 50. All right, yep, there we go. Perfect. Wonderful. Awesome. Look at that. Dope. I almost thought it was supposed to be 5, and I was like, no, we're good. We're good. Okay. Part C. Same kind of sort of deal, except for I got to add 6 first, right? I got to add 6 here. So add 6, and then I'm going to get 2 times 3 to the -4x equals 46. I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. I get 3 to the -4x equals 23. And now we can loop and swoop this bad boy. So we got log base 3 of 23 equals -4x. And I'm going to divide this by -4 on both sides. Bro, I can just type all that in at once in this calculator, right? We're going to hit that math, alpha, math. And I'm going to give, let's see here, 3. Then we got 23. And then I can even all at once divide it by -4. If I'm feeling spicy, man, I want to throw it all in at once. Boom. We get -0.713. So -0.71. X equals -0.71. Boom. Awesome. Whew. Man, we got a whole lot of problems here. All right, these ones are, again, very similar to the ones we just had above. So I'm just going to go ahead and work them out one at a time. You can pause the video if you want to try them, and then you're just going to see the work. All right, for this first one here, we've got x equals 2.75. A little loop and swoop. Plug it in that calculator. We get 2.5, something nice, not too messy. And then 2.75, final answer after a couple more steps. All right, this next one, divide by 14 first. Then we're going to loop and swoop. I'll pause it for now. All right, so we do kind of a weird answer here, or a little bit of work through. So we get big old decimal, right? Now, when I put this into log form, math, alpha, math, we got our 2/3 for our base, so that's no big deal, right? I can just type that in. Now, as our argument, we got this 5.7 and some change. Now, I could either type in like 80 over 14, or I could arrow up, hit enter one more time, and boom, there we go. Now I can just divide this guy right here by 7 to get my final answer here, and we got -0.61. So x equals -0.61. Woo! Part C. Same kind of deal. So go ahead and try this one, and then hit play whenever you're ready. So we got it down to here. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in the calculator. So we got to hit math, alpha, math. I mean, if you forget math, alpha, math after this, man, I don't know. I don't know what else. I've said it like 18 million times. All right, we're going to hit enter, and then I'm going to add 1. So +1. Again, kind of slow moving with this thing. It's a little tricky. All right, and then divide by 2. See, unfortunately, I don't have enough USBs and things like that. I got the camera going, I got the microphone going. You know, I want those things to be high quality. So I gotta do it this way. I don't have the extra USB for my TI to plug in. We get x equals 1.215, so 1.22 for x. X equals 1.22. Beautiful. All right, on to page number 2 here. Oh boy, we have ourselves some application here. This is exciting stuff. All right, so we have the annual, let's see, the population of Riverdog Jennytown. She does have her own town. That's exciting. It was 120,000 in 2019 and is growing continuously at an annual rate of 7.1%. Based on this model, what will the population be in 2026? So continuous growth is that a PERT or N NERT formula, right? So for this one, since it's population, usually you'll see the N of T for any of those types of things, and then it's N not E to the RT. So for this one here, we want to figure out what it's going to be after how many years. From 2019 to 2026, that's 7 years. We started with 120,000. There we go, more zeros. And then we got E raised to the, 7.1%, so 0.071. And then we've got times 7 up there because it'd be 7 years. So let's go ahead and plug this bad boy into our calculator. We have 120,000. All right, and then we got E, so that's just second natural log. And then I have 0.071 times, then we got 7. We hit enter. There we go. We got 253, or it's 197,253.9 people. So let's see here. How do we want to round this? I'm going to say we're going to go with 197,254. Sure, 197,254 is what we're going to go with people. People. Beautiful. Wonderful. Now, the next one here says, when will the population reach 500,000 if this growth continues? You got a couple options. You can guess and check. You could graph it. But at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and solve it algebraically. I want to get exactly what it is, or exactly based on the model, right? So I'm going to set up an equation. So I'm going to have, we said 500,000, right? 500,000 people, 1, 2, 3 equals 120,000. And then we got e to the 0.071. Now we're solving for t. All right, so I'm going to divide by that 120,000 to start on both sides. I can cancel all these wonderful zeros, leaving me with 50 over 12. I don't even care about simplifying it. I could, but I'm not even going to worry about it. All right, so we got 50 over 12. Because I'm going to be throwing a lot of this stuff into the calculator. No sense in simplifying something and making some kind of like a silly error, right? Now, the next move here is we're going to get it into log form. I'm solving for an exponent, so I got to get it into log form. I'm going to do so by taking the natural log on both sides. And what that does is natural log is log base e. So if I have log base e of e, I could bring that exponent of 0.071t out as a coefficient. Log base e of e is just 1, so it'll leave me with just that exponent right there. So now I'm going to have natural log of that 50 over 12 equals 0.071t. I can just divide this by 0.071 on both sides, and I can type all of this in at once in my TI. So let's pop that bad boy up. I've got natural log, which just got its own button. I don't have to hit math, alpha math. We got 50 over 12, so 50 divided by 12, close them, and then we're going to divide again by 0.07, so 1. Hit enter. Looks like it's going to be a little over 20 years. All right, so 20.1 years. 20.1 years. I said that like 4 times. Exciting. Woo. Awesome. Cool, man. All right. A little more. Number 6 here. Number 6. We got Ja Rule. Okay. This guy, I think he was a little bit fraudulent in that Fire Festival. Was that him? I think so. All right. So Ja Rule invested $10,000 into an account that earned 6.9% annual interest compounded continuously. Oh, Jenny's going after something right there. Assuming he does not make any additional deposits, what will this account be worth in 4 years? So same type of thing, it's just except for what you're usually going to see is it's going to be A of t equals p e to the rt, a part, as it is said in short on the streets. All right. So we've got a of, in this case, 4, right, is what we want after 4 years, and we got 10,000. 1, 2, 3. E raised to the 0.069 times t, so times 4. And again, we can just plug this entire thing all in this bad boy. 10,000. 1, 2, 3. Then we got second natural log, and we have 0.069. 0.069 times 4. So times 4. All right. There we go. And we get 13,178.478, so 0.49. So 13,178. 13, let's see here. A of 4. 13,178. What did I say? I can't see my calculator. You can see it, but I can't see it. 0.48. Okay, 0.48. Usually we're going to do that with, since this is money, we'll do 2 decimal places, right? So there we go. Cool. I like it. That's awesome. How long will it take to double? Ooh. Well, double would be 20,000, right? So I can set up a nice little equation here with 20,000 equals 10,000 e to the 0.069 t. So we're solving for t again, just like we did on the other one. So when I divide by 10,000 on both sides, what do you think I'm going to be left with on the left-hand side there? Ooh, we're going to be left with 2 because it's doubling, right? So even if I didn't give you the amount of money, if I just said, hey, it's got 6.9% interest compounded continuously, how long will it take for money to double? You could do that without me giving you an initial amount. Isn't that crazy? Because it'll end up being 2 right here equals e to the 0.069 t. And now I can take the natural log on both sides like we did before. Natural log. Boom, those are gone with each other. All right, they just, boom, I'm peacing out. Natural log and e, they're getting out of here. All right, and now I'm going to have natural log of 2 equals 0.069t. Divide by 0.069 on both sides, and we're going to get t equals, let's pop up that calc, type it all in. We got natural log of 2, close the parentheses, then we got 0.069 divided by, that would have been embarrassing, 0.069, hit enter, and we get 10.045. It's about 10 years, right? 10.05 years, 10.05 years to double. Cool. Awesome. All right, next one. We got some weird pH stuff going on, man. We're like little chemists over here. So we have given pH equals, and let me make sure that everything's still on the screen okay here. You know, that'd be awful to be making this whole thing. Yeah, we're looking money here, man. We're looking great. All right, so we get given pH equals negative log base 10, right? There's no base, so it's base 10. Hydrogen, where H represents the concentration of hydrogen ions, answer the following. So the concentration of hydrogen ions in pizza sauce is approximately 0.000051 mole per cubic liter. What is the pH of the pizza sauce? So let's go ahead and set this one up. We got pH this time. pH equals, and it's negative log base 10, right, of, and since that's the hydrogen ions in the pizza sauce, we're just going to plug that in. So 0.000051, and then, yeah, that's it. We don't even have to solve for anything. So I'm just going to hit negative, and then I can hit the actual log button this time. Rarely do we get to do that, it seems. And then we got 0.000051. And I'll close those parentheses. It doesn't matter if you do or not, but out of good habit. You know what I'm saying? Out of good habit. We have 4.29. So pH is 4.29. Beautiful. Now you guys know, right? I actually Googled this, okay? This is the tomato paste, I think is what it was that it came up with. But, hey, I figured it'd be probably relatively accurate there, right? I didn't want to just make something up. Got to get my facts straight. Okay. Sour Patch Kids. Also Googled this one. Sour Patch Kids have a pH of approximately 3. Determine the concentration of hydrogen ions in Sour Patch Kids. So this one, I probably should have left a little more room for this one because we actually do have to do a little solving here. So I'm going to have 3 equals negative log. I'm going to write the base 10 there as our friendly reminder, right, of hydrogen. Okay, so now what I can do is I can actually loop it and swoop it. So I'm going to, or actually, wait, hold up. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I almost jumped ahead here. I got to divide by -1 on both sides, right? So I'm going to rewrite this as, let's see here, it'll be -3 equals log base 10 of my hydrogen ion. Then I'm going to loop and swoop it. Whoop, boom. So we get 10 to the -3rd equals my hydrogen ion right there. Okay, my H and my plus are looking kind of similar. There we go. All right, so we're gonna have 10 to the -3rd, right? Now again, if we're a little scary here, if it's a little scary for you to be like, bro, I don't like doing these things, so raise it to the -3rd, and we're gonna get a few zeros there, right? Hit enter, 0.001. Ah, nice, warm, and fuzzy there, right? So we're feeling pretty dope. So we got, let's see here, H, there we go, equals 0.001. Alrighty, let's continue on. Whoop, there we go, we got it circled. Alright, so now we got Nate Dogg, Warren G, right? Love me some hip-hop dogs. So Nate Dogg and Warren G started a marketing company that specializes in social media growth. They claim to be able to grow your social media following by 17% every 4 months. Continuous growth, right? Because you're not going to be like, whoop, new followers, whoop, new followers. It's going to be just kind of happening, all right, throughout those 4 months continuously. All right, a new client currently has 5,000 followers on Instagram. If they sign up with Nate Dogg and Warren G, how many followers are they projected to have in 3 years? So let's go ahead and set this thing up. So it's going to be like that N-NERT formula that we had before, right? N of T equals N not E to the RT. All right, so we got ourselves N of T. I'm gonna leave it as T for now, right? We got 5,000 followers, right? E raised to the 0.17 because it's 17%. Now, here's where it gets a little bit weird, right? It's over 3 years, and they're getting 17% every 4 months. Well, how many 4-month chunks are there in a year? We've got 12 months in a year, so 4 months would happen 3 times throughout that year, right? 4 months, 4 months, and 4 months makes a year. So 3 times a year, it'll go up by 17% continuously. For 3 years, that'd be 9, right? So 3 times 3 is 9 right up here then, okay? Cool. So let's plug this into our calculator. I get 5,000, and then we've got E, so second natural log, and then we've got 0.17 times 9, or times 3, however you want to think of that, and we get 23,090.88, so 23,091, right? 23,091 followers. About, right? We rounded that up. Now it says, how long will it take him to reach 80,000? So this is similar to the other one we did, but we got to be careful how we set this thing up and how we interpret like time and things like that, right? So 80,000 equals, and then we got 5,000 E to the 0.17, and then we've got ourselves T. So depending on how we want to write this time here, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to make it 3T. And the reason for that is now, if I get, say, 5 years, right? If I get 5 years here for my answer, how many times was it actually going up by 17%? Well, it happens 3 times per year, as we already discussed, right? So it would be 15 times. So now what this does with that 3t there, that t that I get is years, okay? Otherwise, if we were to just leave it as t, we'd be figuring out how many 4-month increases we'd have. So let's go ahead and solve this now. We got to divide by 5,000 on both sides. We've got ourselves here, we got 80 over 5. I'm not even going to worry about it. I guess I could. It's 16. Okay, that's cool. So 16 equals e to the 0.17 times 3t. And now we're going to take the natural log on both sides. So let's use something a little more different. Let's see here, natural log. And we've got ourselves natural log of 16. Let me go back to orange. Natural log of 16 equals 0.17 times 3t. I'll do the 0.17 times 3 in the calculator here momentarily. So now we can just type this all in, right? I got natural log. We've got 16, so 16. And we're going to divide this thing by that 0.17 times 3t. Now, either you're going to want to work that out ahead of time or put in a separate set of parentheses here, because otherwise it'll divide it by 0.71 and then multiply it all by 3. This will divide it by 0.17 times 3, that quantity, okay, when we do multiply those together. So that set of parentheses there is super important here. And we get 5.43, almost what I was kind of guessing there. So 5.44 years. Okay, 5.44 years. Years. I can spell. Oh my goodness. Years. What? This is embarrassing right now. Y-E-A-R-S. Whoop. So that's how long it will take for them to reach 80,000 followers based on the 17% increase and starting with 5,000 followers. Nice. All right, Doug, so that is it for the calculator portion of this review. I'm going to go ahead and make a second video for the non-calc portion because I know this did get quite lengthy, quite awesome, and I mean, it was just dope. Thank you guys for hanging around if you did hang around. Hopefully that or you skipped around and saw some of them, but hey, if I made any mistakes, pop it in the comments or email me, all right? So if you're in my class and you find a mistake here that Mr. Allen made, I'm probably going to throw some extra credit your way. I don't know where, but, you know, we'll see. All right, and if you're not in my class and I can't give you that extra credit, I'll hook you up with a Yoro sticker or a TI sticker, all right? Sound good? Dope? Awesome. I will see you dogs later.